This is my latest crochet project. It's supposed to be a tablecloth from the Afghan star pattern that Mikey's done a really good tutorial on. But as you can see, it's just about covering a coffee table at the moment. It's got a long way to go before it gets to the size of my dining room table. And I want this on the table for Christmas. So I've got a bit of work to go on it. The thing I'm not used to using is thread or cotton. This is a huge ball of cotton that I was brought last Christmas, and I thought I really want to make something worthwhile with it, maybe an heirloom or something. And I'm not really a doily kind of girl. I just don't tend to put doilies on surfaces, so I thought I really must use it for something special, so I've decided to use it to make this star shape. As you can see, it drapes quite nicely, so it should quite, once it's, and the thing about thread is there's lots of different sorts of thread, and you have to use a really tiny hook. This hook's a 2mm hook. I'll see if I can get, don't even know if you can see that, it's tiny, so it's really time consuming, and I do tend to sort of fiddle about with it. I'm just used to using a large hook and more thick yarn. I don't know what size this is. Cotton's a bit of a mystery to me. It's got different sizes and different terminology, and you look on the internet and you see the patterns of all the beautiful doilies that some ladies make, and they are amazing creations, and I don't know where they get their patience from. And here you can see the centre there. I don't know where they get their patience from for making them, because they really are works of art. They're very, very fine crocheted doilies, and I have made a couple just to say that I can do it, if you like, crocheting skills wise, but it's really just not my cup of tea. So I thought this is a lot less lacy, although it's got a nice, I think it's quite a nice design there going around, and you can see it with a Christmas table with a red cloth underneath, maybe some candles and some nice bits and pieces on the table. And this is where I've got up to now. I don't know how many rows it is. I'm just about to do the shell configuration, or whatever you want to call it. I've managed to do the chain 2, not the chain 3. The hardest bit of the whole of this pattern is to remember where to stick your hook in after you've done your last 2 double crochets to your little chainy bit. And there's this funny little piece, looks like a really squashed half stitch, and that's where you need to stick your hook in. I can't really demonstrate it on here because I don't know if the camera will pick it up. You really have to squish the last 2 double crochets that you've done over to get into that little hole, and I think that little hidden stitch is where everybody has major issues. And I know I did when I first started making this pattern, although I've done it a lot, because it's so popular, that you tend to get something that doesn't lie flat if you don't manage to get that last. See if I can squish it around this, zoom in on that bit, not very easy. So you've done your last 2, and then in here is a tiny little squash stitch, almost, not even, doesn't really look like a stitch. So if you remember to keep your double crochets over to, as far as you can, get your hook in that very top little bit. See if I can do that. Oh, with one hand. It's here, just there. So it doesn't even look like a proper stitch, it's just like a little gap. If you put a stitch in there, you can't go wrong. And all your sides of your, I like to call valleys and peaks, will be the same. This is the piece where you, where am I? This is the piece where you miss 2, so it makes this nice valley, carrying along down till you get to your next, actually shell, isn't it, apparently, it's what it's called when you do DCs together. See if you can get that on there. Ooh, not easy to film. So that's what I'm doing at the moment, and it's taken me ages, but I'm trying to be really good and not start anything else until I've finished it, and hopefully use up all of this, and I shall have a lovely tablecloth for Christmas.